both with excellent defenses, offenses, speed, punching power, both undefeated, both with belts. It would be a unification fight. It almost never happens. Almost never. In a 50-50 fight.
Period. That is the fight everyone should want. That is the #1 desirable fight in all of combat sports. There is no other fight that anyone should want more.
They're meeting at a great time, and whoever wins this fight should be the supreme 154 pounder right now.
Is this a fight that you dare to say is a 50-50 fight?
Yeah, it gives a 50-50 fight. I give it more, it's 50-50 in a sense, but because of the experience, you can go 60-40, 60 with Boots, 40 with Xander, but it kind of is a 50-50 fight, yes.
Max Kellerman joined Stephen A. Smith to deliver a bold prediction for the long-awaited showdown between Jaron Ennis and Xander Zayas, challenging the widespread belief in Ennis's dominance. Kellerman argues that Zayas possesses the precision, ring IQ, and composure needed to shock the boxing world.
Boots is this future superstar. He beat this guy and that guy and that guy. Meantime, when you actually make the fights, and it's like, oh, he's really going to fight that guy? Is he going to win? Where are you with this?
Where I am, Max, is that I want to give a lot of credit to Xander Zayas. You know, Xander Zayas, a young guy, he wanted this fight, he called for the fight, and he made it happen quick after the Virgil Ortiz-Boots fight fell apart. So fair play to Xander. He has a lot of confidence in himself, even though he's going to be the underdog. And you're right, Boots hasn't proven anything yet. Not his fault, but he hasn't fought anyone. He looks special. Now we're going to find out.
Stephen A. Smith suggested that Zayas is a special talent who deserves more attention and could potentially upset Ennis.
Brother is special, and we need to recognize that, and he deserves to be seen, and he deserves.
Max Kellerman emphasized that Xander Zayas has boldly chosen to face Jaron Ennis, risking both his title and reputation by stepping in against arguably the toughest opponent available. A dangerous move that could define his entire career.
About Xander, you're right. You got to give him props. When you have a built-in fan base, in other words, it's not just that you're of a certain ethnic or national group, but you're undefeated. You've been groomed and promoted as maybe the future star that group's fan base will follow. You're risking a lot because you have a built-in economic engine behind you. And when you're a guy who can be put in a position to pick and choose, and you choose Boots, Gabe, what does that say?
Absolutely. This is a fight he definitely didn't have to take, man. You know, he's a 2-division champion right now. And for him to choose the toughest guy on paper right now, I mean, skill-wise, Boots, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy. He could have went a different route.
Roy Jones Jr. praised Xander Zayas as a complete and highly versatile fighter, highlighting his rangy frame, ability to box effectively inside and outside, and sharp body punching. He also noted Zayas's maturity for his age, describing him as one of the most well-rounded and difficult opponents.
Zayas is a very good fighter, a complete fighter, a fighter who I think presents next to the most, he's probably the second most difficult guy to fight in the weight class because he's rangy. He can do so many things. He can fight inside, he can fight outside. He's a great body puncher. He's a very, very respected guy, and I think he's very mature for his age. Boots, on the other hand, is looking for that coming out party type fight. So he got to fight somebody at this point. And because he couldn't get A, he went to B. And I like that about Boots because Boots saying, I want all the smoke. If this one won't take me, I'll go find the next one. And so, since he couldn't make the fight with Ortiz, he made the fight with Xander. This is what you want to see. This is a barn burner, I think. May the best man win, but both of these guys are capable of becoming the biggest threat to Fundura in the weight class because right now, Fundura is still the king of the weight.
Jones Jr. stated that while everyone wanted the Jaron Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz showdown, he believes the Xander Zayas matchup could actually be even more intriguing.
I really wanted to see Boots tested by another fighter beforehand. I wanted to see him fight Virgil Ortiz first because those,
at 54.
Yes, because those two guys were kind of on a collision course. However, I think Golden Boy and Virgil Ortiz had some issues. So now Boots went to the next best thing, which is even better than Virgil Ortiz. He went to Xander.
Trainer Robert Garcia also praised Xander Zayas as a talented and confident young fighter, saying he is stepping up to a very dangerous challenge by facing Jaron Ennis. Garcia respected Zayas for taking risks at a young age and believed his confidence and positivity gave him a real chance in the matchup interview. 6. On the other hand, many experts believe Xander Zayas displays predictable tendencies such as leaning left while attacking, leaving him open to short right hands and counters, an area Ennis can exploit effectively. Despite solid movement and activity, Zayas lacks elite knockout power and has been hit cleanly by less powerful opponents.
Boots versus Xander is a very good consolation prize to get if we're not getting Virgil versus either of them. What are your thoughts on that fight?
Look, it's a great fight, and Boots getting those challenges out there. Xander deciding to fight Boots on a very dangerous, challenging fight for himself. You know, you gotta respect, you know, that decision. You know, if the Virgil fight didn't happen, and then Virgil versus Boots is not happening, and Xander stepping in, you know, gotta respect that kid, you know, for being 23 and taking those challenges. You gotta respect that, you know. My pick, I would probably say, goes to Boots because talent-wise, but you know, Xander's positive about himself, man. He sounds very confident. I talked to him and he's very confident.
Terence Crawford said it is still too early for Xander Zayas to be thrown into such a high-level fight at this stage of his career. He praised Zayas's talent and confidence, but warned that experience matters at the elite level, suggesting patience is key before facing top names like Jaron Ennis.
So you were saying you watched the tape of Xander Zayas,
Right.
and you kind of touched on that. You know, he gets himself in certain spots where he doesn't throw punches. Go ahead and elaborate.
So when he's in the middle, so when he's on the center line, he might throw punches, but there's no power behind him. And if he's sitting on his right hand, same thing. He throws punches, quick shots, but those aren't the really dangerous shots. When he's trying to exchange and he wants to hurt you, you'll see his head go off center to the left over and over again. So he peaks, sort of like, I remember Salvador Sanchez used to hit you with those joints, but then he'll peek over. So he'll peek over, throw a quick right hand, or he'll peek over, and if you freeze, or if he catch the right look that he's looking for, he's shooting a left hook or left hand to the body or left hand to the head almost every time. You know what I mean? And he throws with weight and with power. That's what he does to try to hurt his opponents, right? But that gets him caught because that's his rhythm. Every time he was there against Sparmer was hitting him with short right hands and was just timing his move. Like whenever he would peek over here, that short right hand was coming almost every time, and Sparmer was catching him right on the chin with those. And then when he's pulling back out of that, he's catching him with hooks. So he was short right hands, left hooks almost all day. It's just that Sparmer was a smaller guy, couldn't really hurt him, but he was hitting him. And that's what I pay attention to, is like, Boots is fast enough and athletic enough to still catch you in those positions, but it's not like you're fighting a smaller guy. Boots can hurt you if you get caught.
Ennis expressed full confidence ahead of the Xander Zayas announcement, declaring, "I'm the biggest name at 154. He said he's taking over the division and believes no one brings more excitement or talent. He insisted this fight is just the beginning of his dominance at super welterweight.
You know, especially for Xander at this point in his career, but it shows his heart and his confidence, you know, that he has in himself, and he's ready to go make history for his country, and he's going to do real well in that fight. You know, I just think, you know, right now, you know, it's a little bit too early for him.
Everyone is counting on Jaron Ennis right now. And that kind of spotlight may have boosted his confidence and ego heading into the Xander Zayas fight.
What about that?
I'm feeling great, man. About to be a two-time weight division unified champ. Man, I'm snapping my legacy, man. It's only up, man. I'm about to show the world I'm the best in the world. I'm gonna continue to keep showing the world I'm the best in the world. Like this boxing game mine, straight like that.
Now, the bout with Virgil.
Veteran trainer coach Reggie issued a stern warning to Xander Zayas, acknowledging his talent, but stressing that he is still too young and underexperienced for elite-level wars. He praised Zayas as a great prospect, yet cautioned that facing top opposition like Jaron Ennis now could expose gaps in his development and timing.
Answering the questions that Boots was asking. So it was really one way.
Like I said, you know, both of the guys seem to be kind of, you know, I wouldn't say soft-spoken, but they seem respectful. You know, Boots, he always been kind of chill. I seen Xander being kind of chill. I could see, you know, Xander putting a chip on his back because everybody counting him out. You know, I could see him having a chip on his shoulder because everybody's counting him out. Everybody's just, you know, so high on Boots. So I could see that fueling him. But as far as, you know, Boots getting all tough with him, I don't understand that. I don't, you know, he's the golden child. I don't understand what he, you know, what he got to feel like he got to do. You know, I think his role is to just stay quiet and handle his business with his fists.
Respected boxing journalist Mike Coppinger believes Xander Zayas taking on Jaron Ennis is a smart business move despite entering as the underdog. He argues that facing a proven high-profile fighter like Ennis significantly boosts Zayas' marketability and standing in boxing, even if the odds are against him. Coppinger says the risk could pay off financially and elevate his reputation with fans, promoters, and networks. By stepping up rather than choosing easier opponents, Zayas shows ambition and a willingness to test himself at the elite level, which could define his long-term career growth and visibility in the sport.
Xander's a good fighter. I like Xander. I just think that Xander don't know enough. Yeah. Take a fight like this. I mean, granted, you know, you get in this game, you in this game to be the best. But I don't think he's ready for a fight like this. I mean, Xander's good, he can fight, but he's still a kid, he's still a baby. Still in learning stages right now.
Unified champion, though, right?
He is.
Big kid. Seems like he's getting better each and every fight.
And I agree, but Boots in careers. You know what I'm saying? Now, are they going to pay him enough? You know what I'm saying? Are they going to pay him enough? Because I'm sure after they fight, he's not going to fight for a while.
Jaron Ennis is one of the top fighters at 154 pounds, carrying the reputation of an elite, highly skilled competitor. Xander Zayas, meanwhile, surprised observers and even parts of his own team by aggressively pursuing this high-risk fight instead of taking a safer, more traditional title defense. At the face-off, both fighters showed noticeable confidence and engaged in sharp exchanges, setting a tense tone. Zayas, only 23 years old and still developing at the championship level, handled the pressure well and appeared composed. However, Ennis's greater experience, ring maturity, and proven track record against high-level opponents stood out as key advantages going into the matchup.
Why there's so much hype around Boots. He's an incredible athlete, he has a great jab, he can box, he's in good fights, he has power. But Xander Zayas at 23 is definitely an improving fighter, and like you said, Gabe, he's an economic engine, right? He could be fighting in Puerto Rico, he just sold out in January, he could fight in New York, he's gonna probably have the bigger fan support here. And I think this is a great business move for Xander too. He's gonna get a career high payday, and like you said, 190 he walks around at. He hasn't had much more time at 154.
Yeah. And also I'm thinking about is if you really watch Boots, Boots does look special all the time. But there's cases where he gets hit a lot. And you're like, man, for you to be so good and so special, why are you getting hit from some of these lower class fighters? So Xander might have seen that. So you know what? Yeah, I know Boots is special. I know he's really, really good, etc. But I see things in this game where
Boots was going to have confidence. He believes he's the best 154 in the world. Xander Zayas, who even people on his own side wondered why he was pushing for this fight. Even his trainer needed an explanation from him before he signed off on him taking this fight. His promoter, who admitted on the dais that like his plan for Xander was to put him in MSG, put him in Puerto Rico, do a nice title defense. This was all Xander Zayas, but Xander on that stage continues to look like, act like, sound like a guy that firmly believes that he is the better fighter in this matchup. What were your takeaways from watching Boots and Xander face-to-face for the first time?
It was a fun press conference because Boots was really confident. He was brimming with confidence, and normally you see Boots more, more chill, with a little bit more swagger. He's a little bit more, soft with his comebacks. But no, he was brimming with confidence, and him and Zayas were going back and forth, and I think Zayas handled it perfect. For a 23-year-old champion who hasn't really been against the best, he's facing somebody that's potentially pound for pound one of the best, and Zayas handled it He handled it with flying colors, man. And I think Boots better respect what he has in front of him. Even though the measurements stay the same, I saw a bigger, younger fighter motivated to do something great in Zayas.
Alright everyone, stay tuned for the latest in boxing news, highlights, events, and stories. Subscribe to Legacy Round and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Be sure to watch our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.